Tito, here. See, he kind of excited me. A completely different style dog. After one day, he knows where he's going. Sit, sit. Super excitable. I'm probably going to put him on the tether right away. You can just see such a drastic difference in personality between him and Elsa. I'm going to put him up and I'm just going to leave him and let him settle. And he's real willing to please. He's going to check it out a little bit. He's going to go, yeah, I've been here before. Kind of got the routine down. He has settled in. It's because he's got a leash on. He's got a collar on. Now look at him pull out. It's too low. It's too low. If he can get his nose down to the freezer, it's too low. So what do? Adjust it, put it up. Let him test it a little bit and go, man, I can't move nearly as much as I did before. He's up there. He's got a lot of things he can see, smells. Check everything out. Let him get settled. We're not going to do this until he's comfortable. We're also not going to do it until he's settled. Elsa didn't have really an issue with not settling. Hers was a comfort thing. So he's got to get comfortable and he's got to settle. Good. And you got to be real careful with a dog like Tito because he gets so excited, he boils over very easily, gets really jacked up, and then the mental part of it is out the window. It's not absorbed. It's not soaking in the way it needs to. I was impressed with Elsa this day too because she really seemed to pay attention. And when she pays attention, she gains something after 3 short reps, and then I put her back and she lets that soak in. That's how you do that over and over and over to form a habit. Nice little settling here from him. Now as I come up to him, we're going to see him get excited. I'm sure. Good. Good. Doesn't take much. One step and a good. So then it goes too much, so it's this balance thing. If he gets too excited, so I take a step back and I go, well, we'll wait a little while. There's no way I go for hold conditioning with him right now with a wooden doll because he's so bouncing off the wall excited, he's not going to get anything. We're going to really have a wrestling match. Good. 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 Now I take my step in. I tell him he's good again. See how tight that is? He's stretching it out to the max. Nope, not going to do it. He's going to have to figure out, I just have to sit here for a while. So tight pay attention to how tight the collar is in that tab, that training tab. We won't go on until that is able to loosen up. Good. Just like anything else, we're going to do it on our terms. Just because he wants to go quicker doesn't mean we're going to go quicker. Good. Reach out to him, let him know that's pretty good. And he didn't boil over. So now I look at it and I go, okay, maybe we start thinking about doing something. Good. Good boy. It's that mental part that has to be there in order for the physical part to connect and make sense and form a habit with the repetition. So you got to have all those parts in place for this to sink in for that dog. Good. Talked about it yesterday how mental this is, this process. Mentally, when he's done with it, he won't be able to open his mouth. He physically won't be able to open his mouth because his brain won't let him. Because he's going to be under the understanding of I have to keep this thing in my mouth. I have to hold on to it until he says that word dead. And I'll remind him with hold. I started doing it with Elsa today. I start chiming in with hold, 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 hold in the same tone, a similar cadence, calming, but it's at the action, at the point. See what wants to lay down. this isn't going to work. He's going to find out very quickly. Can't do that. I mean, he just taught himself, I would prefer to lay down, which normally I don't mind. I like dogs to settle into the point where they want to lay down. They know they're going to be there a while. He can't lay down. That's why the tethering is important. He can't quit on me. Can't just give up because he doesn't want to do this anymore. Good. But that mental part of it is going to force him to understand. Can't let this thing go until Dad says to. There was the deep sigh. That's a sign to me that a dog has decided to say, I give. What do you want to do? So I pick the dowel up and see his excitement level. His tail begins to wag. He becomes rather intense, but focused. So I am going to probably continue to move. He's not losing it. He's just focused. Good. Reach up in here. Get these gums out of the way. Roll it in. Move the gums out. He has a much stronger bite. Down. Hold. And he also wants to turn his head out. Hold. Good. Hold. He wants to roll that. Hold. Good. Dead. Dead. So he's not as quick to give it up, which he hasn't been as quick to give it up when we do retrieving. Again, he's been retrieving pretty well too. He does drop it short. He has dropped it short recently. So, but he's got a little bit more of a, he's turned this into more of a game. He just put his head back, he chomped a little bit. I told him dead, he didn't really want to give it, I kind of had to force it out. He's extremely focused on it, which is good. But when I put it in now, he wanted to duck his head out right away, and he wanted to roll his head back and start to chomp it. So I'm going to fix that, and what I did was I brought him back in, I firmed up a little bit, brought him back in, and I shortened it, shortened the lesson. Got what I wanted for about 3 seconds, and I was out. I'm going to do that probably again. I don't want this to go so long that it allows for him to change this thing around and struggle to not get a win. Now he reaches out willingly to get it. Hold. 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 Dead. Dead. Now, he did not want to give it up very easily. I reached over, I took his gum, and I pressed it against his tooth until and I said dead. And I kind of intensified my dead until I got it out of his hand, got it out of his mouth. We're going to go for one more. He kind of thinks this is fun, I think. Hold. Hold. I don't let them do that. Hold. So I got right on top of his muzzle, and I'm going to pull him down so he can't go up. Hold. But I'm also underneath him so that he can't spit it. Hold. Hold. Good. Hold. Hold. Went too long. Hold. Too long. He's fighting it. Hold. Dead. 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 So you could see him just ramp up. Look at him. Now we're done now. So he got kind of boil. It was about to go over. We didn't quite lose it. When I said I went too long, it's because I didn't get it out cleanly. So he started to fuss a bit. He wanted to bite. He wanted to chomp. He wanted to pull away. He wanted to push it towards me. And he wanted it out on his terms. That's when I kept saying, it's too long, it's too long. Well, I'm not taking it out on his terms. It's coming out on my terms. It's coming out when I want it to. That's going to be driven by your behavior. So I firmed up. I got my hand on him. I clamped him down. I firmed up a little bit. I reminded him with a stern hold. And I got like a 1 second where he wasn't fussing or pulling it, pushing it. And then I said dead. And I got it out. And then he didn't want to give it up. Then he wanted to bite on it a little bit. So he is going, man, this is kind of a game. Well, that's okay. We're only into day 2. Hold. Good boy. So we'll build off of that. That's a nice start to first day putting the doll on.